Okay, so I want everyone to write your name, tear it off, and then throw it in the bowl. Okay? That's the work. While you're writing your name down, I'm going to talk. Okay, so Woman Evolve started, everything is about Eve and Mary and the relationship between the two. So Genesis 3:15 says, and I will put in, okay, I guess little context. So Eve, our homegirl, she is eating from the fruit, and it's the fall of humanity. Now sin has entered into the world. She gave the fruit to Adam, and they both are out here just wrong. And in Genesis 3:15, God has this moment with the serpent in which he ultimately reveals that even though she's made this mistake, even though this is the fall of humanity, that at the end of the day, this will not be the end of the story. Genesis 3:15 says, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. So a conversation that begins between God and the serpent, talking about the woman and the serpent, starts talking about a him. And we know that this is ultimately a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ. I love this scripture so much because it's a reminder to me that at the end of the day, while Eve was in her worst moment, that there's a foreshadowing, not just of Jesus, because you can't have Jesus without Mary. Right. So Eve and Mary are together in this moment. Yeah. This is like everything that Woman Evolve is rooted in, because ultimately if she produces seed after seed after seed, she's going to land into what will become Jesus. And so I love this because Eve and Mary are, I think, a perfect reflection of how I feel. Sometimes I feel like Eve, eating from forbidden fruit, forbidden thoughts, forbidden ideas of who I can or cannot be, forbidden decisions. But then there's also this Mary side of me that feels powerful and anointed and called to change the world. And depending on what day it is, that determines who is showing up. Yeah. Sometimes they take shifts in the same day. It's like I started off Eve this morning, but look at me being Mary by the end. I've evolved by the end of the day. And, this month we're talking about revolutionary placement at Woman Evolve. And I've been thinking a lot about being a woman whose life is a contradiction. I toyed with this because I'm like, is it conflict or contradiction? And I really think it's contradiction. It's like I'm excited and I'm also afraid. There's this contradiction, this direct opposite of how I feel. And yet both of them are very real and very present within me. And so I felt like we could do a little bit of an exercise to help us discover where we are placed, like what state am I in, what season of my life am I in, and what am I learning about this season of my life. Stress. Okay, so we've got our handy dandy paper here. And I think we should start this by, let's write down one word to define this season of our lives. Like just one word that defines this season.
Wow.
Okay, mine is overwhelming. And I think that I mean that in every facet of the meaning of that word. It's like overwhelming in an incredible way, but also overwhelming in an exhausting way, overwhelming in a way that's like, am I drowning or am I swimming better than I've ever swam before? Sometimes it feels like there's definitely water in my lungs, though. Like I am in over my head. And so I have been embracing the fact that I am overwhelmed and trying to create like boundaries and to communicate what I need and don't need, while also trusting that being overwhelmed is not a reflection of worth. Because I think sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, I feel like, oh, well, you don't deserve it or you're not cut out for this. But being overwhelmed is not a reflection of my worth. So that's my state. Okay, Simone.
Right. So my word is uncomfortable. And I chose this word because similar to Lauren, I'm in a season where God is pushing me to do things out of my comfort zone, but in the same sense, things I've always wanted to do that I allowed fear to suppress. So it's uncomfortable because I've been a certain way for so long, but that's not my true self. I've been suppressing that person. So it's a good uncomfortable that I'm stepping out, but it's also still uncomfortable because I've been this way for so long.
Okay, so I need examples. Like, yeah, you have to let me in your business a little bit. Okay, so like, what are we suppressing and who are we really? Like, what is this?
So I'm still unpacking part of that.
Okay.
But I'll use this moment for an example. For so long, I've been afraid to like use my voice, and I've allowed fear to stop that. So when I would get opportunities, I wouldn't do it. And it is uncomfortable because I've just been this quiet, timid person. But in the inside, I'm not quiet, nor timid, nor shy. But that's the persona I put on growing up because I've just been told, she's just quiet, she's just shy. That's just who she is. And I took on that person. And now I'm like, I don't want to be her anymore. I want to be loud. I want to live out loud. I want to be bold in everything that I'm doing. But it feels uncomfortable. It's a good thing, but it feels awkward.
Okay, I love that so much because it's giving like shedding other people's definitions of who you are, even those familial definitions. Because I feel like every family has like a label, like you're this one, you're that one. And coming to a stage in your life where you refuse to play the role so that you can embrace who you are and who you're becoming, how you're changing is really powerful. Have you noticed any friction with your relationships out as you break out of this shell?
I'm glad that you brought that up because it's not obvious, and not even necessarily in my immediate family because I think they've always known like that part was in me, but maybe some outside people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying you're changing, but I can tell they're kind of looking like, where did this come from? Right. What are you doing? You don't normally do these things. So like that is different. And I'm honestly at the point where I'm like, this is just how it's going to be. And either you accept me and what's coming forth or God bless you.
Bless you.
God bless you.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, Portia, what state is this?
So I actually changed my word and I went with patience.
Ooh.
I feel like that where I am in life, God is answering some prayers for me. And so my prayer has been position and place me. And I feel like that's what he's doing right now. But I have to be patient because I want to know what's going to happen now, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next year. But God is like, I got you. Just be patient. So I feel like I'm in the season of being patient right now.
Really? Okay, position and placement. Can you break that down for us?
I can a little bit.
Because placements are word of the month, so I can't just let that slide. You see that?
I will honestly say in my prayer time, I'll say I'm asking for a position and placement to meet my husband, to meet, connect with the right people, right resources, my next business endeavors, just where am I supposed to be placed right now in my life? Because where I'm going, I'm like, okay, am I doing the right things? I don't want any more delays in my life. That's where I'm like, I have to be patient in where God has me and move in the flow that he wants me to.
I love that. Little known fact, I went to TCU for about 2 years, and Portia and I were there at the same time. She was actually going to school, I wasn't, but that's all right.
Don't ask about freshman year.
You tell God brought us on back together anyway. Lolly, what about you?
So my word this season is peace. Peace, because for so long I actually prayed for peace. And now that I have this peace, it's a little scary because I'm like, is something going to happen? Is this real peace? Or, but in this season of peace, not to say that everything around me is perfect. There's things going on in the storm of whatever life is, but walking with that peace has been such a blessing. For many reasons. Moving to Dallas, I don't know anyone here. It's just, I just made that step of faith. And still, I remember getting off the plane and saying, it feels like home. And that peace that God has sustained me with, I'm just really embracing.
I love that. I love when you talked about trusting peace, because I don't know about y'all, but I've definitely had some moments where I was afraid to trust the peace. I think when you've experienced like trauma after trauma, that you're just waiting for the next thing. And that's why like I kind of hate the idea that we build our esteem on being like, I'm a fighter. Because when there's no fight, we start picking them. Making fights out of nothing. And like just allowing yourself that moment. I think it took me a minute. I was well into my peaceful season before I realized like this is called peace. This is called peace. You don't have everything you want. Not everything is figured out, but you're okay. And you don't have to be afraid of someone taking the rug from up underneath you at any given moment. And that's been beautiful. And I don't know. It provides a lot of joy. Up underneath all the stress and the worry and all of that stuff, right, that just comes with life, there's a lot of joy that comes with knowing that I found the coordinates for peace, you know? So I'm happy for you. Yeah.
I am in the season of flow. Flowing away from things and flowing into things.
Love that. Are you a rapper? Do you want to rap this part?
I can sing it, but God has placed me. I'm flowing into my alignment.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. I pray for things all the time, and He always delivers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm ready, sometimes I'm not.
That's beautiful.
So I'm in the season of flowing into the woman I'm supposed to be, flowing into what He wants me to do. In the past, I've always been a people pleaser to a certain extent. And so I always flowed into whatever people wanted me to do. In the sense of, okay, well, if I can help you here, I can help you here, I can help you here, I can help you here. But God said, no, you got to help yourself this season. So as much heart as you have to, kind of like when you're on a plane and they say you can't save somebody else before you save yourself. So I'm in a season of flowing into my alignment with who He has prepared me to be and what He's getting me ready for. And I know it's something great. And so I'm scared. But
I'm trying to make us all cry. Can I ask you, like, what do you like about this woman you're becoming? Like, who you see yourself evolving into?
boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Yeah, boundaries. Learning that you can be a giver all the time, but if you don't know who you're giving to, I can't pour from empty cup.
Yeah.
And so as much as I have, it's like, Lord, okay, I thank you for, in this season, showing me my reflection and saying, okay, no, you pour into yourself this time.
Yeah.
You keep this amount. You can't give it all out because you won't have anything to lean on. So,
Yeah. Jasmine.
All right. So my word is stuck. I know it's very simple, but I'm in a stage where I'm very grateful for where I am and where God is taking me. But I'll be 35 Wednesday, so I'll just put this out there. Thank you. And this is the first time I'm saying this out loud publicly, but I still desire some things from God. And I look at some of my prayers and some of my journaling that I've written to God, and I feel like He's forgotten about me on some things. And so I feel like I'm stuck in a place of being very grateful for where I am and where He's taking me, but also very lost and stagnant and feeling like, well, I know you gave me X, Y, Z, but what about these other things that I've been praying for? To put it out there, that's husband and children. And I look at this biological clock that I have going on, and I look at friends and those close to me who, you know, they're doing well in their life and they have the children, they have the husband, and I'm like, God, what about me? Like, have you forgotten about me? And I feel a little guilty because there are some things that I've asked for that He has delivered and surpassed my expectations on. But there's this one big thing that I'm like, I want to be grateful, but I feel like you've forgotten about me. And I don't know how to birthdays are hard for me because I feel like the time continues to go. And I continue to get, I feel like God continues to forget about me in that one area, but I have to trust his will and trust that maybe that's not something that he has for me even lined up. And so I'm trying to work through the balance between that gratitude and understanding that his perfect will is his perfect will. And if that is something that he never gets me, I have to be okay with it and understand the rationale why. And so I'm stuck.
Yeah. I'm stuck. It's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, though, trying to understand why, because, even the Bible tells us, like, his thoughts are not our thoughts, his ways are not our ways. I always feel weird talking to single women who are waiting for their husbands because I'm married, and it feels like, oh, girl. And I don't always feel like communities of faith have done a good job of handling single women, because we say things like, well, if you become whole, then he'll come. And then we have women been in therapy 10 years. They're doing all of the wholeness. They got all the feelings well. They're working out, and it still hasn't happened. And so I think that what I can offer is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing about you that makes you unable to be in a relationship. There are women who have had more heartbreak, they've had more trauma, they're not whole, they're not healed, and they have found themselves in relationships. And so if you can consider or be open to the possibility that even with a partner, that coming to a place where you can find joy in spite of someone is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It may help you in the waiting season, but I won't even say that it'll be the one be all solution, because I think you'll have moments like we all do where that longing becomes evident. But I think acknowledging it, embracing it, loving that girl, not penalizing her, not picking her apart is the only way that you can kind of stay in it without feeling like there's something wrong with you. Because that's, I've been married twice, and I can tell you, having had a good one and having had one that's challenging, and Domino's is that all money ain't good money. Like, you could be with somebody, but you want the right person for your life.
Absolutely.
And until that person comes, you're the right person for you. Yeah. I wish, we need to get, I want a perspective on that. What are we going to do about it? I just want to talk to men like, what's wrong with y'all? I know all these beautiful, successful women, and like, what's happening? I don't know. I want to have men at Mini Bob just so I can sit down and be like, what y'all looking for? Like, what y'all waiting on? Like, what is the story here?
I think social media has also played a big part in marriage today. Like, I think it's easier for not just men, but even for some women to feel like they don't need marriage. Like, social media puts out a false standard of, being in these different relationships, and why are we still focused on marriage when I can do X, Y, Z and get this instant gratification from X, Y, Z. And so I think that has a lot to do with, the stage of marriage now. I don't want to be married more than once. I want it to be with the right person, and I think that also has something to do with why I have not been married yet. But I think it does play an influence.
I will tell you the other part of this Genesis 3:15 curse. God tells the woman that her part of her curse is going to be longing for her husband. Part of her curse. It's her fault. We love her. But I think that part of the reason why that is a part of her curse is because she will fail to remember that she had a time in her creation in which she did not feel like her identity was connected to being with a man. And now she will be consumed by this idea of not being able to be with a man. But when he created man and woman, he blessed them. He gave them dominion. He put them on equal footing. And then this curse happens, and now she won't realize how equal she is, how whole she is, independent of that relationship. And I haven't done a lot of studying of that, but I've always found it very curious that most women I speak to feel like they are incomplete because they don't have the fulfillment of a relationship. And scripture tells us in the curse that that would be a part of what her consequence is. But I mean, through Jesus, the curse is broken.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean Jesus is your boyfriend, but it means that I can get to, I mean, some people do that. That's not my thing. But, you know, but I do think that there's the ability for me to get to a place of wholeness and happiness and peace and joy, independent of being in a relationship. But every now and then you got to remind yourself the curse is broken. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take myself on a trip. I'm going to go to Italy. I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to live because this curse has been broken. And I think that that's challenging, but well worth it. I will say this. When I went through my divorce, I was by myself. And I was like, I'm going to really date myself. Like, someone told me, don't buy a house yet because you don't know whether or not you're going to get married. Well, don't decorate your room too girly because if you get married. And I was like, first of all, he not here. He not here. You know what I mean? And there are places I want to go and things I want to do. And I don't want to say, okay, when we get married, now you can check these things off the list. So, you know, finding a way to maybe still have some of those experiences while waiting can help to make life, you know, still rich and fulfilling and give you something to look forward to while we figure out what's going on. I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where they at. Okay, so I appreciate you all sharing with me the state that you're in and this season of your life. I love Eve and Mary because Eve, you know, she starts off whole. She starts off complete. She has this conversation with the serpent and he sows doubt into her mind. I think that this is the first place where we see a woman experiencing contradiction. So at first, I'm whole. I'm empowered. I have dominion. I'm walking around the garden by myself. I have my life together. And then this serpent comes and says, did God really say? And now I have doubt. Yeah. Now I have doubt. I doubt that God is good. I doubt that he said what he said. I doubt that I can trust his plans for me. There's this doubt here. And through that seed of doubt, we begin to see a woman who is empowered on one side, but doubtful on the other. Living in the blessings of God on one side, but doubtful that she can trust it on the other. I think it's the contradiction that we all experience. So I want to know on our paper, what doubt are you carrying about who God is, who you are, what God says you can do? And I know some of you have shared it just a little bit, but what doubt are you carrying? Okay, so here we go. All right. So mine says, I doubt that I can survive the exposure of this platform.
Wow.
Isn't that something? You know, at the end of the day, I really do like to be somewhere where people don't see me. I really do. Like, it feels safe. I have fun. I struggle with knowing that so many people are watching me while I'm still learning. Because I know I'm going to make mistakes. And it feels like I'm just going to make these mistakes with millions of people watching and creating all types of like narratives and videos, and it makes me want to hide.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes you so relatable.
Absolutely.
Because we know that, you know that you can make these mistakes and that you will make these mistakes. And we make mistakes just like you do. And so the fact that you can own that and you're not portraying yourself to be somebody who's, faultless, that's what makes you relatable. And that's what, what makes us seek after what Pastor Sarah has to say today. What is on Woman Evolved today.
Yes.
I think that's what makes you who you are and what makes us love who you are.
Absolutely. I think authenticity is your anointing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good.
I love that. And so you're a woman of the generation.
Yeah.
Because you're not hiding anything from us. You are showing us what it is and how it is and not being apologetic about it. And that's what we love about it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, like the bigger it gets, the more I'm like, oh gosh.
Your grace for it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't. First of all, okay, and end of all, Lauren, save me. What are you carrying?
I mean,
But okay, I want you to say it like I want you to be like, I doubt that I want you to like say it the full sentence.
okay. Struggling to put words to it. I doubt that I will have the tools that I need to fulfill the next role or the next thing that God has for me. I doubt that I'm going to be successful at fulfilling that calling the way that I'm supposed to fulfill it.
Okay, no one's allowed to say anything. We're just gonna get through the dots because we're gonna come back around. We're not gonna leave it here, okay? But we hear you, and we got you. Okay.
You're sitting beside me for a reason. I'm figuring that out. So, I am doubting that I can live out the vision and like who God sees me as. I doubt that I can live that person out. Yeah.
I'm doubting that I did not start enjoying and seeing all the beautiful things God has for me until now. The pandemic kind of taught me that life is short, and what God has for you, you have to pull in the reins. We can't let it sit because we never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So,
I am doubting, did God really place me here? Like, am I enough for where I am now here? And can I believe fully what He has for me in my next season?
I am doubtful of my placement. And just knowing that I'm in the anointed place and I'm working from an anointed place.
So I am doubtful that I can really be impactful spiritually and professionally. I think it's that imposter syndrome, like even in this moment, who did I trick to get in this seat? So I'm doubtful that I will have the impact that is needed and required.
It's so funny because I feel like so many of our doubts are also connected to things that we just said we had faith for too. Like you said you got off the plane and knew you were home, but also I don't know if I'm supposed to. I don't know. That's crazy. Okay, so next question. We're coming back to this. I won't forget it, okay? What divinity are you carrying? What divinity? So we've got Eve who carried this doubt. The serpent put doubt in her mind. But just like Genesis 3:15, there's a connection to Mary in that moment. And Mary would be the one chosen to carry divinity. You are not just carrying doubt. There are moments that happen through you that you know could only be God. And so I want to know, what divinity do you carry? What is it that you know God gave you as it relates to family or business, creativity, like whatever your thing is, like what divinity do you carry? So I wrote, I carry the ability to empower people to take their position in God regardless of what they've gone through. So I guess I carry ability, which, yeah, in the Greek, when the woman touches the hem of Jesus's garment, and it says that God knew that, or Jesus knew that someone touched him because she pulled power. That word power literally means ability, and so I carry ability.
I carry the divinity of bringing